Welcome to International Ball Live webcast. Today, I have the great pleasure of having one of my good friends from Lebanon, Coach Marwan Khalil. Coach Khalil, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great to see you. Hope all is well and safe with you and your family.
Yep, so far so good. Thanks God.
Good. Good. Yeah, it's been a lot going on in Lebanon. Obviously, in the past year, I think this has been tough. Just pandemic and locally.
You're right about that. We've been going through tough times, probably the toughest times lately, and it's reflected on basketball as well. And the league being on stoppage since October 17 to now 2019, which is more than a year now. Due to many issues, some economic, politics, and then the pandemic came as a cherry on top, and things have been not going well in Lebanon. So, and it is what it is. Now the league is still on stoppage. So,
yes, indeed. And this pandemic has shut down basketball all over the world. So, but recently you were signed to Al Manama, correct? I think. Are you in Bahrain now?
Yes, I'm in Bahrain now. As a matter of fact, I just came back from practice. We just had a long session today, and we're getting ready for the season, which is starting next week with the Super Cup. We play on December 4 against Al Ahli for the Super Cup, and it would be the tip-off for the season 2020-2021.
Brilliant. Coach, you've been one of those sharp, disciplined, and passionate head coaches of Lebanon. Making you the youngest coach ever to reach the Final Four in the Lebanese basketball history, going back to 2007 and 8. I want to go a little bit further back when you started your journey and became the head coach of Tadamon Club, Division 1. And let's take it back a little bit from there. Tell me a little bit about how you immersed in coming into the business of coaching. I know your father played basketball, so... Yeah. Give us a little bit of a history rerun.
I was raised in a family where my dad used to play ball, and like me as the elder guy in the family, I was looking up to my dad. I was trying to be like him when I grow up, and I was considered to be like one of the top prospects in the country for my class, but unfortunately, I had suffered a career-ending injury, and I never came back to play. At that time, I had a quick shift into statistics at the beginning, and then I got into like game analytics, statistics analytics, scouting after that. So basically, I started, I couldn't leave the game of basketball. I was injured, I couldn't play, but I couldn't leave the game. So I had to stick around, do something that I like, and I liked analysis and stuff like that. So I had the opportunity. Coach gave me the opportunity back then. It was a Nigerian coach called Coach Ganiyu. He gave me the opportunity to do some stats with him, and he showed me a little bit the tricks and how to do it. And then things developed after that, and I found myself in the video room. And this is where actually I started in the video room, analyzing, watching, breaking down clips, figuring out plays, offense, defense, X and O's, you know how it gets. And this is where it all started. I really enjoyed it. And I had like a very, very quick, like a rocket, evolution in the up the ladder. So I moved from video coordinator into a head coach in the lab of like 3 to 4 years. So I found myself at the head of the coaching staff. Back then I was still like 23 years old. It was in the Tadamon Club, and this is where I had the first shots. After that, I had to stop for 1 year because I still had to go to my military duties, and this is where I served in the army as a coach for the army team. So that was funny, but I did it, and probably this is where I got so much discipline, and this is where I found that discipline would take you to places where you don't even dream of. And this is how it all started. Came out from the army, going to Tadamon Club, which was evolving in the Division 2 back then. I took them for the first season. Second season, we win the Division 2 and go up to Division 1 to compete with the big guys, with the big clubs.
Wow, and what a journey it's been, because you were, I guess it was you were 30 years old when you became the first head coach to reach the Final Four in the Lebanese basketball league, correct?
Yeah, it was with the Blue Stars. I stayed there for like 4 seasons in Blue Stars. I was the head of their basketball academy for all the age groups and all the teams, the youth teams. I was the head coach, I was the coordinator, and at the same time I was the assistant for a couple of years. Then I found myself again getting the opportunity to be the head coach. I was still too young, but I could manage, and it was a big achievement. It was considered to be a big achievement because the team that I had, the average age was 21 years old. The average age of the local players we had back then, and these guys are still playing in the league until now. One of them is the captain of Riyadh, Jean Abdel Noor. Another guy was one of the best point guards in the country, Rodrigo Aal. Another guy, Miguel Martinez, Jad Bitar. Many players who played later in the national team, and they had a great impact in the league. They were starting with us in Blue Stars. They were like 20 years old, 19 years old, and we found ourselves going to Final Four and competing against Riyadh in Final Four back then. We lost, unfortunately, but it was a great journey in that year.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I guess the journey and the evolution of your basketball and just continued growth, and having had some very good mentors, such as former NBA and Michael Jordan's teammate, Coach Don Sellers.
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
It all happened with Coach Don Sellers. I was still too young. He was in Tadamon back then. It was like in the late 90s, and I was still like a rookie. And then I still remember that. He had a team meeting, and he was coming, trying to meet the guys and everybody. I was too young. I was maybe the youngest guy in the room, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you will get papers and write down your answers." And the question was, what do you think about your ego? Where do you see your ego? So everybody was talking stuff about themselves, blah, 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 how it gets. I'm big, I'm captain, I'm this, I'm that. So I was like, what type of ego do I have? I got nothing. So I had to write, okay, you know what? I'm a rookie, and I would like to learn the game and improve. And I handed the paper. And then that was the only answer that took his attention, and he wanted to know who was that guy. And since then we grew up like a relationship, and he was among the first guys, the first coaches to believe that I have potential in coaching and I would make a great career if I go to coaching. And it happened that in that season I went to coaching and started like the real professional journey.
It seems humility has been your best asset in your development, and good for you there, my friend. Man, there is so much to talk about. Currently you're coaching in Bahrain. You have coached in in other countries such as Syria in your past. You were one of the first coaches to coach outside of Lebanon, and then also. You've also been privileged and assigned with coaching the future of your country, which is the U18 team. How is that coming along? And I've heard some players that are emerging in your country now.
Since I was young, I had the dream of being in basketball game. I had the dream to achieve something big in basketball for my country and for myself, because this was my dream. This was my dream. I was chasing it since I was still in college. Like back in college, if you ask me like what you want to do when you grow up or when you graduated from here, I would tell you I want to be involved in basketball. And it happened that I became a successful coach until now, and I'm planning to keep on growing and growing. But being in that situation, I had the opportunity every time, and I took it. And first time I got the opportunity to go abroad outside Lebanon, to grow outside Lebanon, I took it. I was among the youngest and the earliest guys to leave Lebanon to have an international experience, and I did that paid off to me, and it was great. And then here I am at Manama now. But the thing that marked myself, that I was so touched with and I really attached to, is growing up the young generation of Lebanon, working with the national team of under 18. I had the privilege to work with them earlier, back in 2011, 2012, and back at it again in 2018 till now. And this is where I find myself very happy trying to help the country build a new basketball generation. Now, with the things that have been going lately for the past 1 year, it's been pretty hard for us, but let's hope we can keep doing something good for the country and try to have a new guys to take the lead for the basketball in Lebanon.
Yes, indeed. And if memory serves correctly, I understand that you, before the arrival of Coach Mouttahed, Veselin Mouttahed, you were the head coach of the team that you were there to support the national team in terms of some of the international exhibitions, correct?
Yeah, it was a short period. It was like interim period. I knew that I'm not gonna stay there for long because we were waiting for Coach Mouttahed to come, and it was a great experience being with him, working alongside with him. It was a great learning process as well, and I get to give him a lot of my knowledge when it comes to the Lebanese mentality, Lebanese players, and the special stuff that goes around. When you're coming from other countries, there is always some stuff you need to know in order to help yourself and help, in communication with the players. And it was a pleasure. It was one of my best experiences with Coach Mouttahed. It was great.
Of course. Of course, having Coach Mouttahed alongside with you, because he's, again, one of the more experienced coaches that is internationally renowned and has, produced tremendous success. Previously, having coached in Iran and neighboring countries, and Asian qualifications, local club play, and so what is the goal with regards to working with Coach Mouttahed, and what you're trying to establish within the next post-pandemic wise speaking?
Working with Mouttahed, first of all, gave me a second look at many stuff that I believed in. It gave me like different angles to look at the game of basketball. It gave me a big plus for my experience, and it gave me another dimension going through stuff when it becomes to basketball and managing egos, managing superstars, managing the team as it is, and even setting plans for like practices, long-term camps, short-term camps, and stuff like that. He gave me a new dimension, and I really appreciated the time that I had to be with him, because it was great. Now, as the post-pandemic, I'm trying to grow my career, because whenever I grow, the whole Lebanon coaching and players would grow behind me, and I would help probably my country in many aspects. So we're trying to evolve now. Being in Manama, I have the challenge to build a new generation for Manama. They didn't win the league for the past 2 seasons. They're planning to build another successful team, trying to win the league again, but maybe not this year, maybe the year coming after. I'm here for 4 years, so we have a plan for the whole 4 years to build a new generation, win with it, and win the league again, and do something good for Manama. After all, I've been known for building programs. I've done it before with Luwaisi Club. I've done it again with Mouttahed Club, and now I'm trying to do it again with Manama. This is recently. I've done it before with the Blue Stars, as I told you. Now it's probably the ultimate challenge for me, being abroad in the Gulf, which is Bahrain, trying to build a new generation for Manama and Bahrain, and hopefully working on winning the league in the upcoming seasons.
Of course, Manama being one of the top teams with the highest number of won championships, expectations must be very high.
Yes, they are.
It's been routine that in the your predecessors have either been imported coaches or of U.S. descent or abroad, generally speaking. How do you fill in those big shoes?
First of all, I just keep it real for myself. I stay humble to the game, and I still stick in my shoes, doing what I do best, staying focused on what should be done, and knowing that Manama is one of the biggest clubs in Bahrain, probably the winningest club in Bahrain as well. But the thing is, they've been off the gold medals for the past 2 seasons, and this is the plan: trying to rebuild a new generation and get them back to win leagues, cups, and go back to GCC and conquer, the whole area and get them back where they used to be and where they are known to be. Probably this is what I do best. I've done it for my whole life, and here we go, doing it again. But this time it's high rewarding, and this time I have a team where I can grow and where I can win championships and be back on the map internationally.
Well, we certainly wish you good luck and continued success with that. Anything that you want to share in terms of your living circumstances in Manama, how you're handling the pandemic, how the team is going about their protocols in terms of being able to create a safe environment for team to be able not only to play, but also be able to grow?
Yeah, well, thankfully, the pandemic is being well contained in Bahrain as a whole picture. And in Manama, we get to do PCRs like every other day, which is like we get to do PCRs 3 days a week. And we stay in a healthy environment, and we're living a healthy lifestyle, trying to avoid, traffic, trying to avoid the crowded area and stuff, and staying busy with basketball and living in a good community all together. And PCR is helping us, staying healthy and knowing what to do, knowing what we're doing and how to stay away from Corona and staying focused on the basketball itself. In one way, it's good that it's helping us staying focused at the game, but on the other hand, it has to take a lot of extra work to stay healthy and stay away from the pandemic. Well, that's one of the adjustments we have to make, us, coaching staff, players, management, everybody. But that's the cost to be paid in order to stay and do what we love to do, which is basketball.
Well, I certainly wish good luck with that. I want to thank you for taking the time, your busy schedule, and giving us an update here on International Ball Facebook page as we cover a lot, just basketball news around the globe. So thanks again, and look forward to invite you back and getting an update from you soon.
Thank you. I just want to add like one thing to be clear, that any coaches watching us around here, any coaches who get to see this interview, or any coaches anywhere around the world, you should know that there is no limit to your growth. Any good thing would happen if you stick around the game, if you stay positive and keep working and stay on the track. Good things will happen to good people. Stay disciplined and stay focused, and good things will happen. And this opportunity here, let me have it, and I would thank my agent who got me this opportunity being here in Manama. It's Jad Saadi who got me here. I'm pretty happy being here, and I would recommend and ask all the coaches around the world, please stay focused, stay positive, and good things will happen.
Very good, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Look, speak with you soon again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.